Sure, the clerk said he'd be over as soon as he got that from over 7.
Okay. You want over here?
Well, I guess, yeah. Shall we do that?
Yeah, we had a request to have Carrie Hugs come over and explain on the process.
We'll call her.
Is right here.
Oh, you beat us.
Wake up! Wake up!
Yeah, so I'll give her the floor. Okay.
I'll go ahead and hand this out. I only got 5 copies. Too sure?
It's good to get you.
All right. Yep.
Okay, basically, we manage the tribal trust funds and individual Indian accounts. The way tribal trust funds work is we are guided by federal regulations. We have our own internal handbook on how procedures work in managing these funds. We also have procedures and policy, and we are audited internally and externally. So everything has requirements that we process. Just to familiarize you guys, for tribal accounts, we have judgment awards. Those are by public law. We have, and then we have other accounts which do not apply to pro, but we do have judgment awards. That's the 107 account, and that is by public law. We have water rights accounts for pro, and we also have proceeds of labor accounts. Proceeds of labor accounts are basically anything to do with trust income, that's mineral surplus, any kind of trust resource are deposited into these proceeds of labor accounts. And how these accounts are set up are requested by the tribe, and they're guided by tribal resolution. The ones for Crow are the per capita account, that's all trust income, revenue, farm and pasture, right-of-way, royalty payments from the coal, range units, any kind of trust income goes to the per capita account. We also have the severance account, and that's your gross proceeds, the quarterly payments that are made by Westmoreland, plus any bonus payments that are encumbered. Encumbered meaning if you pass a budget and you guys are budgeting low bonus payments, those would go to this general fund severance account. Encumbered means that you are applying those payments to the budget. So those ones will go to that account for your past resolution on the budget. How the disbursements are made is on the 1034, that is an official BIA form. That is submitted by the tribe. It goes to the BIA, and the superintendent has to approve these requests. And we do require a tribal budget every year to make these disbursements. If it's not within the budget, we do require a separate resolution. We cannot process any 1034 without the direction of a resolution. And we do follow the tribal constitution too, whatever the chairman has authority. mentioned, we do have audits internally and externally. So they do follow up with all the requirements. We have to follow the Code of Federal Regulations, all our policies. Most judgment awards, legislative direction, require a use and distribution plan. And that goes back to when those accounts and those laws were passed. So everything is within the tribal files, and that's available to the tribes. Just more information on, we do have a threshold, like I am a fiduciary trust officer, I do have the authority to approve and process payments under $1 million. Anything over that goes to the regional trust accounts manager in Albuquerque. So we do have directives on what we are allowed to process. And we do, we work with the executive branch, and we do recommend ACH or EFT payments. That's the best, safest way to make disbursements. We do make third-party payments to financial institutions for the loan payments and bond payments, and that is within your budget every year. And the last part of this PowerPoint is pretty much how to fill out those forms. And that is the form that is submitted with the budget every year to make those payments with the draw. And the drawdowns usually take, if it's the same day EFT, it's the same day the tribe receives the money. If not, an ACH is just like a regular direct deposit. It takes 2 business days. And I did bring a copy of the CFR. It is available online, and that's what we are guided by. And it tells everything on tribal trust accounts, and it's 25 CFR 115, let's see, 800, both, that's the whole section on tribal accounts. Any questions or?
Questions, thought we got? Yes. Go ahead, Sean.
I'd like to thank you, Chair, there, Finance Committee. Chair, thank you for informing us. I believe that the legislature needs to be educated on all this procedure and information. Many times the legislature doesn't receive all the information until the last minute on royalty payments and other, I believe, proceeds of labor as you expressed. And the question I brought up is that based on a resolution, we'd like to receive the same financial information from Government Affairs, OST, to the legislature. And I'm wondering if that's a possibility and can be authorized based on resolution.
Well, the one that has authority to do that is the chairman, and the past chairman has authorized those asset statements to be mailed to legislative. You do get a copy already. It's a monthly statement, and then there's a fiscal year statement that comes in. And this current chairman allowed the same practice, so you currently receive reports from OST.
Well, that's good to hear, because the information that was expressed last week was that there was a hesitancy to provide this information, and I guess it's cleared up that information, and I sure appreciate that. Based on that financial information being dispersed, are they separated into certain account line items where this is the amount of royalty from this, whatever it may be?
The only thing that is separated is how these allotments were acquired. With the BI's asset management system, they issue T accounts. Probably doesn't make sense to you, but you'll see it on those asset statements. Like the original allowances are T30. Acquired by tribes is like a T40. The land buyback has its separate T account. So it depends on how it's acquired. Any income acquired by those T accounts then are driven by those tribal resolutions. So let's say for range units, they are tied to a T account, by resolution, 85% goes to the per capita account, 15% goes to a separate PL account for range improvement. So that's how we split the income. So that's a manual income.
Maintenance that I showed.
Yeah.
The maintenance.
Yeah, that's the maintenance improvement for range units. So everything is guided by those tribal resolutions.
Right.
So depending on how those T accounts are set up, we manually separate them, or if it's straight per capita account, like the T30, the original law Ts, those are automatically transferred to the PL per capita account.
So based on that information that you just expressed, that 85% goes to the per capita account?
Yep,
And
by
then-
resolution. 15% goes to a separate PL account for range improvement.
I see. And then, now since we have a resolution that's essentially reduced the per capita based on the last special session, then you would take a look at that, and then the special session that's coming up, the percentage or the total amount that's going to be reduced of the per capita, then they would, we, the legislature, based on the signature of the chairman, would inform the Bureau of Indian Affairs, OST, on that percentage reduction.
It depends. When it's passed, then we would give it one.
I see. I sure appreciate it. One more question, I'm still up here. Based on that information, right now, since it's 85% of the royalty goes to per capita, that,
Only for range income.
okay. Based on that information, this information, since it's mailed to the legislature, should be dispersed amongst the legislature. I haven't seen that kind of information on my desk since December, since I first started. So I was just wondering if there could be more efficiency, accountability to see that information. And I'm wondering if we, the legislature, and the Bureau of Indian Affairs could work hand in hand together, because I'm still learning on the process and procedure. I have done 638s, I've done different things like that, but I've received drawdown financial information, but I haven't seen that kind of financial information. So I think that a lack of information to the legislatures is what is being questioned. So I think that we can work in the government-to-government relationship with this branch so that we can understand that this is the total amount of funds that come from this account and things like that.
Yeah, and if you need assistance with reading those CDs,
Right.
those asset statements, we're here to help you.
Well, that's,
But please understand there's different kinds of income that goes into different accounts for those purposes per resolution. So what I just spoke about was only range income.
right.
So anything with royalties, coal, that's separate too. Everything is separated.
Sure appreciate it. Thank you for the clarifying the information, because I haven't had any clarification being part of the legislature since December. And now, I understand financial information, understand management of accounts and the different things like that, and it just seems like we're not on board looking at the financial information as it progresses, as it's allocated, as it's dispersed, as it's paid, and things like that. So I think that would be good to have a seminar where we're being informed and educated. Because lack of being informed, lack of being educated, then that leads to questionability in terms of how much should the enrolled members be receiving in terms of funding. And these enrolled members should be receiving the total amount of their per capita as stated by resolution. And Koga, Otsaloge, Redocha, Na, Rechwa, Ais, the financial information, that's all we know. And Rage, no, na financial information that it was a group, go pay that, they can, oh, my, thank you.
Yeah, and just to let you know, like I said, there is audits internally and externally. We have inside auditors, and they hire outside contractors to audit. And not only is EIA and OST involved, when we talk about per cap, that involves a mineral. So Office of Natural Resource and Revenue out of Denver performs those audits also on this morning. So there's many different audits that are performed, not only more than 2 as it is in natural resources.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I just want to clarify one thing on that resolution that just got passed. That resolution is not touching per cap as it was passed. It's just touching those proceeds and settlements. So, just so you're aware. Yeah, it'll be, we haven't, it hasn't gone past, it'll be in session.
Sean?
Okay, based on the CPA's opinion that per caps is not going to be reduced, then I believe that the Crow legislature should do a recall on that resolution that was originally passed, based on your opinion.
Well, it hasn't been passed yet, it'll be voted on in session. The Finance Committee gave a recommendation, but we haven't had a session for that allocation between gross proceeds and per capita.
Good.
I'm expressing the past special session that we had on the resolution that expresses the information of reduction of the tribal royalty payment, which specifically states per capita distribution that's going to be reduced. And so based on your opinion, yes, I'm glad that you have an opinion, and I think that based on this opinion, I think that you should express that in special session that that original resolution should be recalled if that's your position.
Go ahead, Bill.
Senator Rubenberg, yeah, I think that's a difficulty, you know, that original resolution, I think it's 1607, just says the legislature and the executive will agree on whether or not per capita is going to be reduced. So then this new one that's going to come up on Thursday just says that per capita will not be reduced. Now, that original one, that's in the process of getting EIA approval. Westmoreland hanging on a string there, waiting to be able to, you know, to finalize the sales contract. So what we're hoping is, I spoke with regional office last Thursday, I think it was. Hoping is that as soon as this new one is passed, that says doesn't come out of per capita, EIA will approve that one you passed before. Otherwise, you'd be starting all over on that, and it would kill another month or two. We were trying to get some coal sold before January 1st. I don't think there's any. I don't think it says that per capita is going to be reduced. It says exactly the opposite. Nobody's decided yet at that point. And which if you're doing Thursday, it's saying no touching per capita, it all comes out of taxes. At least that's my understanding of everything, and I think it would be difficult to rescind that past resolution and start over on the approval process.
Sure. Again, so again, legislature, state bar, certified attorneys who down Monday, na previous resolution we did, use that could reduce the jail, how we go give state certified attorneys today. Then we fixed it at Bauhaus, it's my students, but they used to go on charge to get salary. Used to how we was review, guys, I shared with go. It's a bit one, you know, salary is a check over go, and you guys, Jimmy go, salary go, and I hope that camera's rolled.
Oh, Dookie.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To answer some of the Senator Gilbert's, Sean, we got rules where if you want to recall, you got to be part of the majority that said yes, which is unlikely to happen. So that's a moot point there. And then if one of the people, and that's the procedure you give. And then also, if you listen to those state advocates, lawyers, what you're saying, their opinion, did you have them in writing? Did they have it in writing? Because that's hearsay to me. Unless you have them in writing, I've learned that, you know, you gotta have their opinion. That's your opinion, but I didn't hear it, you heard it. So if I saw the documentation, then I would read it, so ask for their opinion, let them write it out. So you, Cody, will have to.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, that's a good recommendation. Maybe we can have another committee meeting and I can have those attorneys come in and specifically present their position on the information that was, the resolution that was passed and the budget that we're talking about. I think that's a great idea.
Oh, yeah, on Thursday, 9:30, we'll have a special session, 9:30?
Mine.
9 o'clock. Yeah, and every Thursday, I call a finance committee meeting, and even on that day, so I want them to come in about 8 o'clock Thursday morning. And utilize that committee meeting. Go last, so.
I think that would be a great idea. I think that the more legal minds that we have on this information, that I think that the better position the legislature will be to be informed on what is happening to our financial budget and that the strain that's happening to our total budget throughout the total government. And I think that would be a great idea. The thing is, quick note, I would have to inform them and to make sure that they have room in their schedules to drive down from Billings and then to express their position.
All right, I hope. All right, so anything more to add? This presentation. Good.
Oh, I got a question, John. Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the body. Carrie, the drawdown special, vi gör fiscal year, right?
It's October 1st, against
October 1st.
And then that budget you passed has additional information on the monthly draws, so most payments are monthly disbursements.
Okay.
And the 1034, that's part of that presentation, has the delivery dates on it. So those are the dates we go by for the tribes request.
134 is our monthly, yeah.
It's a yearly, it follows the yearly budget, but there's a schedule attached. That's usually a monthly, depending on the kind of payment it is.
Okay. So then you just express all the different coal as well as the tribal leases and.
See, okay, so the tribal budget is attached to your J 107, the judgment award, and the severance account. So that's separate from the per capita account. The only thing drawn from the per capita account is by resolution of 3 times a year per capita payments for August to December. So those are all completely separate accounts, and they are all driven by those different tribal accounts.
Judgment award, so they get could go.
Judgment and severance account.
Okay.
The other proceeds of labor account. The tribe has like 5 or 6 proceeds of labor accounts, depending on what that income is.
Go ahead, Brendan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the body, visiting guests. My question, just to clarify, what loans does the BIA pay for the tribe? Is that like the 10 million, or the liabilities, or is it just what, bond payments, stuff like that? Could you clarify that for me?
I can clarify it, and then Carrie can,
Mr. Chair, the question was for Carrie.
It's all covered by your budget. So if you go back to your budget, you'll see those loans within your budget. And the request is made by executive. So as long as the chairman signs off on those 1034s, that's what we follow by resolution, by the approved budget between executive and legislative. So that would be something, I didn't remove the last fiscal year's budget, but it's on there.
So are all the liabilities and all the bonds and all them, previous loans,
It's part of your budget.
as soon as the drawdown comes in every quarter, you pay them?
According to your budget.
Okay.
Any more questions, comments? Sean?
Thank you, Chair. Gary, disbursements, do you send it to the legislature, or can you send it to each legislator? Is it a possibility to send it to?
We send one copy and it's addressed to the legislative branch.
I see.
And it's a CD, so you do receive it here.
Okay.
It's a CD.
Could be a possibility
So you
for
could print however much you want on that CD.
fiscal information, is it possible to send an email to the legislatures that the financial information has been provided from your department? Many times, that kind of information has not been communicated to me.
Okay, all I can tell you is it's mailed out monthly, and they're set up on a tickler where they're automatically mailed out. So we haven't had a case of, unless it's lost in the mail, but we only can control what we issue, and it's mailed out monthly, and then one disc for the whole fiscal year. And that has been authorized by the chairman.
Any more questions or comments on the presentation? All right. Well, Carrie. Again, I'll be over there for the budget. Section 3. Section 3, again, towards the middle of the paragraph, special revenue account meter. And so I do not do we in committee
On this one?
Yeah. Big special revenue account meter. Look at the middle of the paragraph
Twice, actually.
twice. I guess.
Oh.
The third line in the middle.
Yeah, and one it's too open,
Oh, yeah.
so too broad, and
And that was one of the things that,
yeah, we have
I believe, making an amendment in that area. I believe that was from a suggestion of Kerry, right?
yep.
Kerry Huggs. Or right now, as it's being proposed, it's too broad, so we wanna make it.
Yeah, strike that and then go with an account that's already there, the proceeds of labor for capital account.
So all we gotta do is just make a motion, second, and we vote on it in committee. And then strike that out, and then whatever we want in place of that. Then we can discuss it a little bit, and
Yeah.
let everybody's on the same page.
Okay. Carrie, we think you have you're gonna special revenue account Dodgers.
Okay, in reviewing this draft proposal, in section 3, it was indicated as a special tribal revenue account. We are not creating a brand new account. The tribe currently has a proceeds of labor account just for per capita purposes. So that account should be referenced specifically. So we can replace, if you say special tribal revenue account, that's a broad term that could go to any account, or that could cause OST to create another per capita account. So just to be specific, you already have that proceeds of labor account just for per capita purposes. We'll utilize that one account. And this plan is too broad, and to be more specific, it'll secure that money to go to the right account.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Let me read it. Section 3, tribal mineral royalties, special per capita account. All mineral royalties paid to the credit of the Crow tribe shall directly deposited by the office of a special trustee in a special tribal revenue account. And then either strike that language, or we can just say what Carrie said, referencing what she said.
Proceeds of labor.
Proceeds of labor account for.
Yeah. Referencing proceeds of labor account. Or per capita.
Yeah, because the tribe has like, I think 6 proceeds of labor account, but they're all, you know, they are addressed by the use. So if we say per capita, it'll just go to that one that is for that purpose.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yes, thank you, Chair. It looks like we have the special revenue account specified twice.
Yeah.
And so we would probably have to strike out those 2 languages and add proceeds of labor. Is there a certain kind of number depicted in that proceeds of labor?
Everybody, 6 accounts, so again,
There is
most specifically the per cap.
Yeah, if you would,
But there's a certain specific number that, for that account, we should
the
put that in
account
there.
number is private information that cannot be, you know,
Oh, I see.
public. So if you just use the term per capita account for that proceeds of labor, that's specific enough to tie it to that account. I wouldn't put the account number out there for the public.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's more secure this way. And per capita would be more secure, the revenue that's coming in, instead of going into that special revenue account, it'll just go directly to per capita. You know, it's just a straight shot, and we'll see it when we get the reports that the funding did make it to the proceeds of labor account for per capita.
No, again, you want his side, again, this was very after today's to very HMI. Again, very after the learning curve, very good. Up of it, left my move, a malada, and milk, I express that individuals who wrote this information need to be educated along with this, with the legislature when we have this training program on the financial accounts coming from OST and BIA, so that we don't have this kind of problem again based on this information. That it seems like that we would be educated on the certain types of account line items and how they're specified and how they're expressed. Thank you.
Yeah, because I get a good Nila resolutions, I go law over this. They know law over this. Tap more out of it, chula. BIA, go be shelly. Again, ball solid.
Would be speaking the same language.
Yep. Chichuang, you know, again.
Chairman, go get the tool, go get na draft the data. Bali belasting, alachtu ko line item counts, law, cook up, you want to move, go please. We want to be a stable government, and we want to understand what the names of the accounts are, and that presently, this is a prime example that the drafters of this resolution do not understand the language of these accounts. So we need to move in that direction by educating ourselves on understanding these types of accounts and their specifics and their definition. Thank you.
Yeah, Clint, I guess the question is, you know, what was the purpose of adding that language special revenue account? I guess if you can kind of elaborate on that.
Usually that's the resolutions are legal issues, so we may have bill
Chair, I think that language was originally drafted by the legislature's attorney by Jay several years ago. And it is intended to do just exactly what Kerry has clarified, just to make the language more precise. But I mean, generically, that PL account is a special revenue account that receives just that stuff. But that's not the terminology used by OST. So it was always intended to do exactly what it's doing with the amendments. But those will be definitely clearer and avoid any confusion, I think. So thank you, Kerry.
Yeah, so that's why it's good to have BI here to, you know, use their knowledge of how they work and, you know, as a prime example of, you know, working together. So, Oda wants to do the motion. Motion to strike approval. Let's tell us to strike it and then replace it.
Yeah, strike and amend that to what Kerry said. A lot.
Motion to strike special revenue account. Yeah. And then amend it to proceeds of labor account for per capita.
Okay, I'll make that a form of a motion.
In addition to that, it needs to, per capita distribution needs to be in parentheses, because individuals who are reading this will not know that proceeds of labor is where per capita accounts are part of this account line item.
Let me read it, I'll read it. Okay, I make a motion on section 3 to strike special tribal revenue account and then the second special revenue account in place of proceeds of labor account for per capita in parentheses. Do that motion. What is it? Capita.
Per capita. Need a second?
Can you re-express that again?
The requested class will negotiate to be read the 2 special tribal revenue account.
Proceeds of labor account for per capita, and for per capita is in parentheses.
So we strike out both special tribal revenue account. The language, we strike both of them and replace it with proceeds of labor account for per capita and per capita in parentheses. That was the motion. I need a second. All right. Second by John. Need a question?
Question.
Tubby, question? All in favor, signify by raising your right hand for the motion. Eight yes. Any noes? 0 noes. Any abstain? 0 abstain. Motion has passed. So if you guys want to change the language on that, strike it and clean version. Right. Okay. Let's show that. No accounts of that, or no budget. All right, go ahead, Sean.
Okay, Terry, before you go, do you express that a copy of this account proceeds of labor information is mailed directly to us? And in this section 3, if you go to executive shall forward to the legislature's copies of the per capita account drawn on and things like that, I think that that language needs to be clarified. That OST BIA sends us a copy.
Lagi, Commissioner Chairman, at the beginning of the year, it's up to him to either release the information and If not, we don't need he's been
Yeah.
okaying it. So okay, that's why we've been receiving all this information.
And those asset statements that, CDs, part of it's financial. It shows you the disbursements, the investments, the debits, the credits. The last part of it is the asset part of it. Everything that's tied to those accounts, all the properties tied to those accounts. And then the end of it is all the encumbrances, all the leases, right-of-ways, all of that information is on there. And that is something that, if you wanna call me, I can do a presentation on it, whenever you guys are available.
Yep. Good idea. So we'll look at it, the chairman has authority to send us copies, or does OSDBIA has authority? He has authority. to
Chairman
issue
has
to us.
ultimate authority, it has been in place since, I think, Black Eagle, when Old Coyote came in, we confirmed it with him, and it's still current, and it has been now to the legislature for the past 7, 8 years.
I'd like to make a motion that OSDBIA provide proceeds of labor directly to the legislature.
Yep, that's what's happening, is those CDs.
Negotiate.
We already did them.
But,
We are receiving them already.
thank you. Sometimes I don't see the information.
Okay, where does it go to?
Canute, the state Canute, we just
Yeah,
get monthly
I guess it
statements,
goes to
gratis.
Canute,
And
and
then it goes to finance.
it goes to
And then the
Rachel.
August one, we already sent emails, everybody, so we'll probably do that monthly.
Yeah,
once we get it.
She'll start doing that monthly.
I think that maybe we should put into part of this language that we receive the information on a monthly basis. Because right now I haven't seen any.
Internal Raju is good for us.
It
The
is,
internal, so,
we're not negotiators.
go ahead, Eric.
Good morning, Chair, members of the body, Carrie, legal, visiting guests. I'd like to, at this time, request in the form of a motion that we get the previous ones for the last 8 years, for the current ones, and to be updated, to be distributed to all the senators in the branch. And I'd like to make that in the form of a motion.
A directive. I believe it's gonna be a directive. There's a second.
To you?
There's a question by Brandon.
Then second, Jack.
Sean.
Sean.
Brandon, question.
Brandon.
And it's gonna be a directive, not part of this, but a directive to the committee.
Yeah, I got on the side note, Rajna, that we can gather that information. You guys can gather that information and send it over. The last 8 years.
Is executive director to do it, or what's the?
Yeah, that's, who wants it?
Executive plan.
8 years?
Whatever, we can get it, and, oh, we got email,
Yeah.
email form, you know, so save some trees.
I think email would do, but I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Really easy.
All right, in email form, we'll get that in email form, quick, Carrie? Yeah.
Mr. Chair.
Eric?
I think if it was mailed to the branch and then the branch can distribute it on request of the senators or.
Just have it here
Yeah.
for availability.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe a copy.
Then
Rachel?
if I wanted it from.
I got some, but not all
Branch
of them.
Rachel
Yeah.
request about, then.
From whatever you don't have.
Because I don't know if my little phone can handle. Yeah, so that's the, yeah, so.
Okay, Rachel, she has about 4 years worth. And then the 4 years prior,
Yeah,
another,
4 years ago.
and then if at least she has it, and then if you request it, then you can,
1 year?
she can email you or whatever, yeah.
I believe there's a second, first motion first and a second
Question.
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 Go ahead and take a vote.
All right. All in favor signify by raising your right hand on the request motion. All right, yes.
I guess, last week I asked for what he asked for. I think I already made that motion, huh? So, yeah, I don't know where you're making it now. We was talking about asking for those LSD drawdowns.
Oh, no,
That's
we,
motion, but motion, yeah, not having so guys saying that, maybe, I think that motion's already there.
yeah, they got a motion, it's already in there, they added the language in there. Without a motion, they added the language in section 3.
Okay, I asked for the OST drawdowns, I guess we got last couple weeks ago or last week.
Yeah.
Motion, like, so guys.
Yeah, go ahead, we're already provided.
Did I take my motion back?
No, it's already provided, it's already added in there, and they request, I think it was just for previous years that we get, you know, that were provided with the information from the previous administration 4 years back, so totaling 8 years, and like we already received 4 years worth of this administration. It's been mailed, and it's already currently being provided.
2008 to 2012, pretty much.
Yeah, 08 to 2012. That's what we're requesting right now, because the past 4 years we already have it.
2012,
2012 to 16.
Excuse me. She has only a little, since she's been here, she only has the year. So the previous ones would be Bill Okra. So I don't know where he might have filed them.
All right, just send all 8 years. You know?
We only got 1 year.
So, you know, at least, you know, send it to Rachel, and if anybody wants one, then we can. So that was the motion was for,
That would be part of the training too. Training to read, you know, to read. Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
go ahead, Lou.
I think that would be part of the training, you know, when we have those documents, Carrie can come in and kind of show us how to, because she knows how to read it, but I think that's the training that we need to, she can tell us what the numbers are and what it means. That would be helpful.
All right. All right, any no's? 0 no's? Any abstain? 0 abstain? All right, motion to request. So Clint, go ahead and send it to Rachel, Finance. All right, any questions on the budget? The legislative budget, judicial budget, executive branch. I think we received, did everyone receive the draft of the narrative? Go ahead, Duke.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, again, the budget ball, our budget of $356,250 is to December 13th. I'm not December 13th, it's end of December 31st. And so you got November and then October, 3-month continuing resolution that they gotta go. And so expenditures ball monthly, our expenditures here. I know that last time Bill Okro was about 110 to about 120, Raji. So that was our expenditure monthly. Salaries and our expenditures, about 110 to 120. So what I believe that's based on this, the way I looked at it. But I'm going to ask the question to Mr. Chair, if I may, to Rachel.
Yeah,
My question is that, what's our average monthly expenditure? Oh, Carrie.
Without travel benefits, that really helped us right there. And expenditures small, 8,000 a month, Karaji. Vendors
The average spending for the whole month.
for the
altogether.
whole month. Payroll,
It's about 110 a month, that's on my, about 110 to 120 dollars a month, everything included. That's what I was saying, because Bill used to have that, the whole biology, and Bill always, and then, hold on, here.
No, that's for the month.
3 months.
And then
What Bill, why I was always like, asking, Bill Crow, what are you gonna song, homo? Because that one time, with the previous administration, we said that we can't make it to September 30th, and then after that, man, we really watched the monthly budget. He always averaged that out, for this month. And so, and that's what I was asking Rachel. You gotta know that. You gotta have the whole expenditure. So at least we're gonna make it to September 30th, and this is how much, sometimes about 30,000 could I just be, or 40,000 when September 30th arrived. So that's probably something that Rachel would probably really need to do that. And that way, and then another thing too, because of our travel, man, there was a few senators at that time traveled, and then and we asked Bill to make a monthly travel, or travel. Some of them were already 10,000, because from from October 1st to like April, a couple of them, one had $8,000 in travel and one had like over $10,000 in travel. And then we had a moratorium because the way we're traveling and the rest haven't gone to trainings or anything like that, we stopped that. Because we weren't going to make it, our budget wasn't going to make it to September 30th. So those were some things that we had to, so yeah, again, on our budget, I believe this is for the interim though. I'm just kind of going back to September 30th and that. And that's,
That's for FY17 right there. That's for the 3 months. The continuing resolution, 356,250. A monthly average would be 118,750. Okay, so what did I average for last time? 110?
about 110 to about 120 guys average spending a month.
Okay.
Chair.
Yeah, wait.
Thank you, Chair. Yes. Members, we got a copy of that?
Yeah.
Can we get one or? All right, thank you.
Yep. That's for the 3 months, so. And internally, then we'll do a breakdown on what's going to be cut. Executive will do the same and judicial will do the same. Go ahead, Sean.
Thank you. Is it standard routine that when they do this type of budget, that the total sums are there with no line item account budgets that are presented with this kind of resolution? Is this kind of procedure?
I'll get a narrative, and it has a line items there.
They're all attached.
Yeah, attached.
It was on your first one,
No.
Please let me look at this information right now. Sometimes they try to pull the wool over my eyes as a Native American. Okay? Member David, David Coastal, David Legislature, get out. Okay, David Legislature, get out. Jim, I get it,
It was all in your package, but our package.
What's that about to do?
No, that's not the line item. Eric's showing you.
No, but it's a draft for that.
All right, can you please, let me see that information so I can take a